Hey, what's up guys? I'm Ben. Welcome to the channel. For the last 5 years or so, I've been putting out videos just like this on either Arctic Cats or Polarises. Kind of always been told that Skidoo is the least reliable. So I decided, why not buy one myself, a used one, 3,500 miles, a 2016, and just ride it, have fun on it, and see what happens. So let's take this thing for a rip, and we'll talk about my experience so far. So if you guys haven't been following along, the day after I bought this sled, I came out to the trailer to fire it up. And it wouldn't start. And it turned out to be sort of a weird issue, something that I think honestly could happen to any sled. Doesn't matter what brand name is on it. Obviously, the brand name on this one happens to be Skidoo. And it's a little odd that like I said, specifically bought this to test its reliability and didn't get more than one ride out of it before I had to stick quite a few $100s into it. You would think that after that happening, especially since now I've only got a couple days left of the season here, since I was waiting on parts, you'd think that I would be upset. You'd think that I would have, wished that I had bought an Arctic Cat or wished that I bought a Polaris again. But honestly, I love this sled, man. I am so happy with my purchase. I think I'm a Skidoo guy now, honestly, and that's maybe not entirely true. I've never been brand specific about cars and trucks or even motorcycles. There's just so many things I like about it, and some of this stuff is gonna be, a little bit specific to this sled, but this thing is just so light and snappy, and Arctic Cat I think kind of gets a bad rap for their weight. I have to stick this thing on the scales at home to figure out what exactly this thing weighs, but it just feels light on the trail. Like I said, it feels snappy. It's got such a mean snap to it. I love riding it. It's exciting to ride. It's also a little tippy because it is really a crossover sled, so it's got kind of a thinner stance compared to an MXZ or a Renegade, but it's so fun to ride. It handles so well. The suspension I have not touched, so maybe I could even get more out of it, but honestly, it seems like it handles everything that I've thrown at it so far excellent. I've gone over so many obstacles on this thing that I sort of braced myself for that bone-crunching impact where you bottom out the suspension. Granted, this thing does have some really nice shocks and springs on it, but that's part of the sled, right? And it never happened. It always handles everything that I've hit so nice. Never had that bone-crunching feeling. It's such a joy to ride, and it just feels like it's just meant to be out here, and it just does such a good job. And the other thing that I really like about both the suspension, I guess just kind of the sled in general, is how user-friendly everything is and how easy it is to do things like adjust the suspension or swap out the headlights on that. Actually, any of the Arctic Cat sleds that I've ridden, it's a huge pain in the butt to try to change out the headlights. It's just not a good design, and the clips are impossible to get your hands on. I ended up using pliers and stuff. This, you literally have to open the glove box and you can see the backs. Whoa! Get off the seat, lazy. You pull this glove box open and you can see the back of the headlights right in there. So smooth, so easy. On those Arctic Cats, you had to take a grate out to get in there, and then you had to stick a tool down in there to get it to adjust. So if you're trying to do that on the trail, it's going to be at night, otherwise you can't see the lights, and you're fumbling around with tools, dropping stuff. Just such a pain in the butt. This one, you just pop this open and there's a little knob that you turn. It's just incredible how easy everything is compared to the Arctic Cats. It's so nice. The suspension I haven't done much with, like I said, but the blocks on the back, I guess I can just hop off and show you here. Ooh, what is that? Gross. Hey, buddy. Where are you going? Enjoying the spring weather? Oop, it's all roughed up. Where the heck are they? Right here. These blocks, you can just grab them and spin them. You don't need a tool to do it. It's so nice. I don't know if anything else is that easy under there, but I love it. Even just the fact that we have this built-in storage here. I've got my balaclava there, goggles, some wires and stuff. I don't think you can see anything down in there. Decent amount of room. You've got room for a tunnel bag like most sleds do, but you've got this storage built in. I've got my tools and a rope. I mean, how can you beat that? It's like, it's a snowmobile that's made for snowmobiling. It's so nice. Even like the windshield and stuff, it all just pops off. It's just a lot of good, thoughtful engineering and ingenuity that went into it. Now, obviously, like I said, you know, maybe the motor's going to let loose at some point, and all that stuff will be useless until I get it up and running again. But I mean, it's just nice to have stuff like that, you know. The other thing that I think is super cool about Ski-Doos in general, and I guess maybe Arcticad and Polaris have some of this stuff, I just haven't looked into it that much or haven't looked in the right place. I guess you guys will have to let me know. But it just seems like there's so many accessories out there for this. Now, there's the link bags and the stuff on the back, but I'm talking more so the extensions that you can get for the glove box, the kits that you can buy, like the manual recoil. I mean, it's just a bolt-on accessory that you just slap on. I mean, it's a couple bolts and you're good to go. All the stuff that goes up here, I mean, I think there's plugs underneath the hood that you just plug any of the wiring that you need to do for either a shield heater or a USB port. I mean, even the little light bar that's on the front of this thing, all that stuff, I mean, everything's there. It's just kind of plug and play, pop it in, and you know, maybe a few fasteners here and there, but I mean, it's all just, it's out there, it's easy, it's on Amazon, which, you know, Amazon isn't the best place to buy everything. You shouldn't be buying everything from Amazon, you should go to small businesses, but stuff like that, I mean, it's just so nice to have it all in one place to look at. You don't have to pay extra shipping or wait 3 months for anything to come from a parts warehouse. It's just all so smooth, and all the accessories that they've got are just really kind of neat stuff that, like I said, I just, maybe it's out there, but I just haven't seen it from the other manufacturers. Boy, these trails are nice up here. I cannot believe how good everything has looked. I'm kind of purposely avoiding some of the spots where I know we'd be having to run across a bridge or something, so some of that's planning, but man, these are so nice for March. And I think this is going to be the last weekend. I think these close on the 27th, which I guess you guys actually might be seeing this after the trails already closed down anyway. Speaking of that, I've got to do some maintenance to this, just preventative type maintenance stuff and kind of replacing wear parts. And I don't know if I should release those this fall or if I should wait until, or I mean spring, or if I should do it in spring or if I should wait till fall. Let me know when you guys want to see that sort of thing. Look at that, even a little bit of snow cover on here. With just a little creek running down it. What's going on here? Gate ahead. Okay. Cedar Falls Campground. Oh wow, look at this. Whew. Hate to be down there. That is cool. Now feel free to comment on any of this stuff, but especially this stuff. I'm not sure how close this is going to be to any of the rest of the sleds out there, or even how credible any of this information is, but I can kind of corroborate some of it, and that's the fact that this motor in here is just so efficient, and definitely a powerful engine. I think it makes like 160 horsepower, but if I run this in the garage or in the trailer, it is absolutely nothing like the other two-stroke sleds that I've owned. Now, the 2019 Arctic 600 that I rode a bit last year, I think that one was probably pretty, not smokeless, but pretty clean burning too. I don't know if it was quite as nice as this is, but I love that even though it's a two-stroke, even though it smells nice, even though it sounds like that, you don't absolutely reek like smoke, and you don't get smoked out when you have to fire it up in the trailer and wait for it to warm up. I love it. It's so cool. It's nice that it's that efficient. I don't know if that degrades the longevity of it all or not, but it definitely is nice while it lasts anyway. And I sure do love that I can pull the skis up on it. This is the first sled that I've owned that has ever been able to do that. And it really still handles pretty darn nice on the trail for what it is. I've also heard that, I guess because of that, and just in general, it's very efficient as far as using fuel and using oil. Now, I do run the Ski-Doo oil in here. You know, I don't know how much of a difference that makes. Probably none, but it definitely does seem like it does not use a whole bunch of oil, which would make sense. It's obviously doesn't smoke a lot, but it seems fairly fuel efficient too. And I'll have to check it and let you guys know. All right, so that is full. 91, of course. 66.5 miles. 66.5 divided by 4.605. Yeah, 14 and almost 14 and a half miles a gallon. Not bad for how hard I've been ripping this thing. Oh, this is awful. Poor sled. 600 cat that I rode last year, I think got like 13 and a half miles to the gallon. So not great, but definitely not bad either, and not like I'm ever super easy on it. Woo. What? That doesn't sound good. That'd be a weird fitting end to this. Another breakdown. I guess it is pretty warm. I think it's like 45 degrees. Maybe I shouldn't even be out here, huh? It's fuel injection. This should be able to figure itself out, right? Where do we want to go? I actually have no idea. I think I've got to look. That is one thing that I'm not a huge fan of, is there's not an easy place to sort of rig up a GPS like I usually do. I guess I'll have to buy an expensive accessory that I've just been praising. Take the left and then all rights till I get back here, unless I decide to go somewhere else. So how about you guys? What do you think of my assessment from what I've learned on this sled so far versus the other type of sleds that I've ridden in the past? Have you guys had a similar experience? Have you had a Skidoo and had terrible luck with it and will never buy one again? Have you had a Skidoo, had problems with it, loved it, and then still just kept buying them? Let me know how your story with sleds has gone. Can't say that I regret my decision yet, nor do I really think that I will. I mean, I don't know, really any two-stroke can let loose. I mean, they're going to, right? I mean, that's just part of riding a two-stroke, and they're fun while they last, but they don't last long. And it seems like most manufacturers are running longer and longer and longer. Obviously, you know, maybe it's still not a great thing to be running it longer, because some parts just do need to be replaced, and obviously seals can go out, and if you introduce extra oxygen into the system, then things get hot. But I mean, in general, I don't know that I've seen anything recently that has made me think the newer sleds, that one honestly really is any better than the other. I've seen plenty, I guess I shouldn't say that, I've seen plenty of Polarises and plenty of Skidoos that have been, you know, had the motor replaced by the manufacturer under warranty, or, you know, even out of warranty. But honestly, I don't know that I've seen a whole lot of Arcticats with that. Now, I guess maybe that's because I've never really been looking at the XF800s. I've been looking at 1100 turbos. But I don't know, that is kind of interesting. How about you guys? Have you seen a lot of Arcticats that have had been rebuilt? I honestly can't think of a single one. Now, the other thing that I've noticed, as much as I liked the Procross chassis, I have to say that there were certain things about it that were just, I don't know, not bad and not necessarily cheap, but just, I don't know, not great. And some of it was just like the accessibility stuff, but the way things looked and fit together, it just wasn't quite there. And this sled just seems a little bit better put together and just looks just a touch nicer to me. And maybe I'm off on that, maybe I'm wrong. So thanks for watching, guys. I will, of course, keep you guys up to date on anything that happens with this sled, and I also next year will be getting out and riding it as much as I possibly can. So if you guys want to make sure you see those videos, don't be shy, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next year Thanks for watching. Take care, stay safe, stay swanky. Get out and enjoy these trails if you still can. And if you can't, here's more videos to check out in the meantime.